Hi everyone, this is Tina with Overall Adventures. Thank you so much for joining me. Today I'm showing you a flip through of my first ever Hobonichi, my 2023 Hobonichi A5 cousin. I'm obsessed with it. I feel like we've grown together. I wasn't so sure at the beginning of the year, and now I'm like, oh my gosh, how did I ever do it without this before? So let's jump in. So for 2023, this is my first Hobonichi A5 planner. On the left here, I just have some little cute doodads, like just this little baby. Post-its, I have some cards. This is my grandmother's funeral card. I just like to keep that with me. So in this pocket, I always keep just a simple grocery list. On the back is where I usually do the meals for the week, and then like any weekend activities we might be doing. And then in here, I just keep like stencils, receipts, anything. This usually ends up like bulked up with extra paper or mail or things like that. Then on the inside, so usually I have a bunch of Post-its going on of just random to-dos up front. I usually keep this paper clip just so I can jump right to the month, but for our purposes, I'll take it off. I really did not use these pages. I didn't use this at all. I want to try something different in here for 2024. And by different, I mean I actually want to use it. But I just didn't know what to do with this, so I just didn't do anything. And then, yeah, I use month at a glance just like as I typically would. So it would be for birthdays or just events. I tried like little quotes. I tried marking down like the books that I read, but it just didn't stick. So it really is just like a traditional month at a glance with birthdays and events. There, I used some washi, but I didn't like it. I'm just like so plain when it comes to these kinds of things. This is going to be my zones that I'm in, and I'm going to explain that when I get to the weeks, but I'll come back to that later. So it's pretty just straightforward. No like frills. That's just kind of my MO when it comes to planning. So just keep it really basic. And then, yeah, I just use these like 2024 pages for like upcoming events and things that we have in the spring. And then we get into the weeklies. My goodness, what a journey. What a journey we were on. The first like few pages you'll see, few weeks, I'm just like trying to figure my system out. I've never used this before. So what I did was on the left bar here, it would be just like general tasks that I wanted to do that week. And then I would kind of like migrate them to the day on the week that I did them. Up at the top here, I did just events, literally just copying like what was happening in the month and what events were happening that day. And then up here was when I would mark how old Hank he was. So he was 7 weeks here, general to-dos. And then these were habits that I wanted to do every day. And then down here, I wrote beauty, but it would be like one beautiful thing that I noticed that day. And you'll see it kind of like, I pretty much used this system for quite a few weeks. I really liked like the blocks. And I just like how this like looks, like mixing the fountain pen with this just kind of like ballpoint. I felt like this really worked for me for a while, and it was really nice to capture just like a small, beautiful moment every day. It also kind of sometimes developed into like something cute Hank did that day. But yeah, it's pretty much the same. Like I'm still logging how old Hank is. I'm still logging any events, general to-dos, and then migrating them over. So this like really worked, but you'll see I kind of like played with different like ways to organize things. This was like we were headed on a trip, so this ended up becoming like a packing list. These were just like when we were on vacation. I use it as more writing, but you'll see it pretty much stays that way for a while. I went to black and I don't know, didn't love it, so I was back to blue. And then you can see I kind of like waned a little bit, like didn't use it so much. This was when we were in like the thick of like a sleep regression, and by sleep regression I mean just like not sleeping. So I just kind of stopped doing the journaling on the bottom, and you'll see like this week was insane. One of our most difficult as parents and 2 working humans. Don't be deceived by the lack of to-do lists. So I just kind of like all things fell off the table. Like we had not been sleeping for months. And so we started some sleep training, and then I could see like things kind of come back together. This down here, like I really stopped doing the journaling thing. And this was when we were looking into pellet stoves. So sometimes I would take like general notes. We were in the full swing of like our property just kind of like exploding with life of, early summer. And it was just like trying to juggle like how to run a household. Like, this is so new for me, owning a home, and just had all these tasks that are all over the place. So it's like, how do I gather myself together and kind of like figure out how to run this home? So you'll see like down here, I started like making lists for the home, like outside chores, like cleaning the kitchen, clearing the coop, or like weeding the front bed, things like that. But it just got kind of overwhelming. And then this, my friends. So it's like the end of June, early July is where I discovered the Fly Lady, and she changed my life. She changed the way I run my house, everything. Like, you'll see how my Hobonichi changes from here on out. This was more like when I was researching the Fly Lady. If you don't know her, I'll link her website down below. But to be completely honest, I found her book much more helpful than her website and her emails. So I'll link the book as well. But she basically, and you'll see it, she kind of has like this whole system of cleaning your house and like running your house, really. So she talks about, you know, you have these routines, like a morning routine and an evening routine. You might even have an afternoon. And then every day of the week is like has a different theme. And then basically she like shows you kind of how to clean and like what to clean and how to organize it. Each week you're in like a different zone. I'll explain it. It makes more sense in a second. You'll see. Okay. So having a baby, being two working parents, owning a home for the first time, having animals, all of that, it just felt like so unbelievably overwhelming. So her system of just like figuring out what my morning routine is, figuring out what my evening routine is, and then basically she says for 10 minutes every day you have like a daily focus. So each day of the week has like a different theme to the tasks. And then each day you do 15 minutes of cleaning in whatever zone you're in, and that zone changes per week. So for example, this is really kind of where I started. Yeah. So for example, this week was July 10th. Mondays start with the home blessing. So you spend 10 minutes doing each of these tasks. So you clean your sheets or you wash your sheets, dust your mirrors and doors, you dust your high traffic areas, you vacuum, and you mop. So it's about an hour of cleaning on Mondays. And then Tuesdays is an admin day. So it could be like any kind of logistics that you have to do in your household. So it could be paying a bill, it could be meal prepping, it could be planning for a trip, it could be packages, anything like that. Wednesdays is anti-procrastination day. So you take one thing that you've been procrastinating and get it done. Thursdays are cleaning out your car and purse, again, just like 10 minutes. And then Fridays is like a miscellaneous or errands day. And then every day you do just 15 minutes of zone cleaning. And so for this week, we were in zone 1, which is the entryway, the garage, the dining room, and the porch. I kind of like change these a little bit now. But so for example, I do my morning routine, check. I did my home blessing, check, check, check. I did my zone clean, which was literally 15 minutes. It could be just dusting. I just set a timer. That's it in one of these areas. And I do that every single day. And it has completely changed my life. And you'll see as we go through. So I jumped to zone 4 here because I was trying to follow the Fly Lady and how she kind of, the days of the week or the weeks that she does it. But basically, again, home blessing, admin, anti-procrastination, car and purse, and then miscellaneous. And then I was zone cleaning for 15 minutes. So at this point, I was like writing down exactly what I was doing. I didn't need to be doing this, and you'll see that kind of changes. So as we go through the weeks, but basically, this just changed my whole world. I was on vacation here, so this doesn't really count. But basically, I just do my home blessing, any kind of admin on Tuesdays, anti-procrastination, car and purse, miscellaneous. And then I did my zone cleaning. So this week I was in the living room, Hank's room, and office. And then this week I didn't really do it. About 15 minutes, but there you go. That's kind of what it is. So I'm obsessed with this. It has changed my whole world. I could do a more in-depth video on the Fly Lady, but this is kind of how I lay out my tasks. Everything up here is still the same. It's still events, to-dos, general to-dos that get migrated over, and then just half of my page is my Fly Lady tasks. And it has worked. It has worked. It has worked. I adore it. I don't see this really changing for me in 2024 because it is just so effective. Like, basically, I just wasn't cleaning, or I shouldn't say that. I just would super, super, super heavy duty clean, and then I wouldn't do anything at all. And then I'd have to super duper clean again. This is like doing a little bit every day so that I never have to do hours and hours of deep cleaning. So I went on vacation, and this is the week we're in right now. So again, general tasks. I was away this day, so I didn't do the home blessing. Luke did it for me actually, which was really sweet. And then, yeah, the same things each week. It's crazy that we only have a couple more weeks left in December. And then from there, I'm gonna get to our daily pages. So this, I would say, is where I have absolutely struggled the most in Hobonichi. Like I have such a love-hate relationship with this. Honestly, if this date was just gone from the page, I think this would be like, I would love this. I wouldn't have a problem. But like the sheer fact that this is here, we battle because it makes me feel like pressure. Like I have to fill in something, otherwise it's blank. And you'll see, like I have quite a bit filled out, but I also have quite a bit of blank. And it just bothers me. So in the beginning of the year, I was really on it. I did like I left this blank, and then at the end of January, I'd come back and did like top 5 moments, media that we liked, a quote, general reflections, favorites. And then I did that for a couple months, totally fell off the bandwagon, never did it again. And then I was doing a word of the day, and then I was doing 3 wins or gratitude, and then a wish or a wisdom. And I did that for a while. So again, like it was pretty straightforward, 1 word, gratitude, and a wish or a wisdom. And it was nice. It was nice. I did that for a while, but I just fell off the bandwagon, and I don't like seeing these pages. So I ended up using them a lot for just like planning out Fly Lady stuff or any kind of like research. I like divided our house into different zones, and I was like, oh wow, so if I like focus on 1 inside zone a day, maybe I could do a little bit outside, just because we have not that massive of a property, but we have enough that in the summer, it's quite a bit to manage, a lot of weeding. So I was like, what if I divide our outside land into zones, and then like each week I can kind of rotate so that every bit gets touched ultimately. Just general projects I wanted to do. And this was just like note-taking on Fly Lady stuff. This was just like planning for, I don't know, I feel like this could be something I could do an elaborate video on, but this is just like, what do I want and need in a planner, and how can I kind of like make that work? So yeah, just again, like lots of blank pages. And then most of the time I ended up just like doing general journaling. Most recently, I kind of settled on a spread like this. So I did like a little bit of a weather thing, 3 bullets of things I'm grateful for, general like journaling, Mama Earth. So this is just like something I notice outside that's going on, and then any kind of ideas or inspiration or just anything that hit me that day. So that's been kind of fun, but quite honestly, again, it's like, I like how it visually looks, sure, but it's another thing to maintain, and it's kind of nice to just like journal. This daily section though, I have to be completely honest, I'm really not sure how this is going to look in 2024. Like worst case scenario, I'll just keep doing what I've been doing, but it's difficult. There's no way I'm going to be scrapbooking in here. It's really not about memory keeping. Like I could just do a journal a day. I like the like structure, and like I like the way that it looks with like, ooh, I can do like the weather, I could do some memory keeping, blah, blah, blah. But like really, when it gets down to it, like this is how I run my household, and I just don't know. I have a journal for that. So if you have other ideas of how I could use the daily pages, I would say that is the part I've struggled with the absolute most. And then back here, I just have, some doctor referrals, and then an emergency contact list, which I think is really nice to keep with me at all times, just in case. Fountain pen, really crappy ballpoint. That is my Hobonichi for 2023. I have adored it. The weekly and the monthlies are just everything. Dailies, we're figuring it out, but we shall see. So that is my 2023 wrap up. I hope you really enjoy it. Let me know if you have any ideas in the comments below, and I will talk to you soon. Peace.